Hello and welcome to more negative exponents. Today we're going to look at some of the mistakes that my students make and things that are common as we start to look at more negative exponents. The first thing is looking at the difference between these two problems. They look almost identical, but there's a slight change, and that is the parentheses. So how do the parentheses change the problem, and what difference does it make? In the reality, it makes a huge difference. In this problem, this says 3 times x to the negative third power. The 3 is not being raised to the negative third power, only the x's. So, and we know that any kind of negative exponent really just means reciprocal. So this means 3 times x to the negative 3. This means this has to go on the bottom. Right now it's over 1. So what changes is that this part stays in the top, this part comes downstairs, and our exponent changes to positive. So this means the same thing as 3 over x to the third. But over here with parentheses, now the whole thing is being raised to the negative third power. So the whole thing is a reciprocal. This is equal to, in the downstairs, 3x to the third. Then what's going to go in the upstairs? It's never 0. If everything else is gone, it's always 1. Now down here, this is a power to power. 3 to the third, we know we raise the coefficient to the power. And the exponent, this is 1 times 3, gives us x to the third. So you see, these are very different problems, and the answers look very, very different, even though originally they look very similar. Okay, extending our thinking as well down here. Negative 2 to the negative 4 power. It is not 8. What this means, again, is the reciprocal of negative 2. So the negative 2 is going to come downstairs to the positive 4 power. What goes in the upstairs? Always 1. Now we just need to think through what this is. If you type this into your calculator, well, this one actually will work out okay in the calculator. But negative 2, actually it might not. If they don't use parentheses, the calculator might mess this one up. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. These two make a positive 4. These two make a positive 4. Positive 4 times positive 4 is positive 16. So the answer here is 1/16. And this problem, when you have a fraction all raised to the negative exponent, the whole thing is one big reciprocal. So we can flip the whole thing upside down and say this is equivalent to the downstairs in the upstairs, and the upstairs in the downstairs, all to the positive 3 power. These are equivalent. The negative just does the flipping. And now we know the quotient rule, that we can take the third power to the numerator and the third power to the denominator. And so this gives us x to the 15th, y to the third, over, this is 2 raised to the third power, which is 8, x to the 9th, y to the 12th. Are we done? I wish. Not quite. There's still more we can do. Can we do anything with the whole numbers, the coefficients? This is a 1, this is an 8. Nothing we can change there, so it's just still going to stay 8. But we can still look here. 15 minus 9. 15 on top, 9 on the bottom. The 9 down here cancel with the 9 up there, which leaves us 6 left up top. And then here when we look at the y's, there are 3. They cancel with 3 of these guys and leave 9 in the bottom. So this gives us our final answer here. And this is negative exponent thinking. I hope this was helpful.